Alliances are still strongly sought as team leaders call on new and old members of the Niue Legislative Assembly for support. It is yet to determine who the government of the day will be, and overseas Niueans are also getting in the act of forecasting outcomes. As it stands at present, both sides claim they have the numbers to support a formation of a new government. However, these are still not decided until the first assembly, which is scheduled for next Monday, the 16th of May. Radio Sunshine will bring live coverage of the Niue Legislative Assembly next Monday. Niue's general election received its first observer from the Forum Secretariat of the South Pacific last week from an invitation to witness the island's processes of elections. Regional Governance Advisor from the Forum Secretariat of the Pacific Islands, Henry Ivarature, said Niue's election was satisfactory.
The elections have been conducted freely and fairly according to the electoral laws or the laws that govern elections in Niue. These laws have been complied with and have been followed by officials who are responsible for the conduct of elections in this country. That's the conclusion that I can draw from looking at the elections in Niue.
Mr. Ivarature also said there are only a couple of minor suggestions.
There are a few things that we have looked at, and basically the structure and the process in which elections are done are the way they have been done always. There might be some suggestions, suggestions in terms of the way some of the processes may be done to probably improve on it. It's not to say that they're doing it badly at this time. It's just that there might be other ways that you could do it that could be better done. One suggestion that I had discussions with the electoral office is that they might want to look at where they count the final votes, because at this point in time it's counted in the office, and I think they could look at doing it in an office that is isolated away from other activities that are also taking place at the office, etc. So that's just a very minor suggestion on looking at how they could count that, do that. There are a few others, but and one area that people have commented on is the electoral roll. Maybe that needs to be looked at a bit more closely to address residential issues, etc., which is now surfacing here. But those are problems that are coming out in themselves, and government, I know from talking to officials, will have a look at that, and that's an area that is important. So those are the two areas that I think could be looked at. Yeah.
Not only did the Forum Secretariat send their observer for the elections, but the Chinese embassy from Wellington also sent their first and second secretaries to observe. Concerns from businesses regarding a new tourism office showed a split in responses as the Niue Chamber of Commerce brought businesses and observers to gauge the plans from Niue Tourism for their new premises in Alofi. Reactions from some businesses showed concern, with some pleased with Niue Tourism's intended operations for the centre, seeing it as another great initiative to beautify and create convenience for tourists' needs. Chairperson of Niue Chamber of Commerce, Avi Rubin, said, from NCOC's perspective, Niue Tourism was vague with its presentation, but they will await the arrival of the new business advisor due in on June to discuss best approach regarding their issues. One business owner who responded with their concern said the presentation by Niue Tourism's office was not as clear as expected as to what the office will house in its premises. There was also talk of retail elements in the proposal, but whether all retail elements of operation relates to tendering out retail space within the premises or a process of Niue Tourism employing others to operate its business within, it was not too clear to some who attended the meeting. One business owner said she is happy with Niue Tourism's plans as it will cater for tourist needs and hopefully benefit people with more job availability. In highlighting some of the events that were held during the Niue Arts and Cultural Festival, the competition was on out in the water with the Waka Association's canoe race. The arrival of the cargo ship meant that the race was brought forward to be held in the morning, and unfortunate for some competitors who did not get the message and lost out on the opportunity to compete this time round. The race started with the open men's and women's sprint competitors combined due to the few numbers that had registered. There was even one competitor representing the Wellington group, Kane Mokalei. We caught up with him to gauge how he felt about his first time out on the water in a traditional Niuean canoe.
I don't know, it was pretty out of it, eh? Like, we took the Waka down off the reef, and then it was like, I don't know, it was pretty scary, eh, for the first time. But then, yeah, it was all good. Came right, and yeah.
What was the feeling like out there between you guys?
But it was all good, eh? I just couldn't, I couldn't keep my Waka straight, so I couldn't really, go as hard out as I wanted to. So, yeah, I couldn't do much about that, so, yeah.
So all in all, how are you feeling about the whole festival mood here on the island, seeing as this is your second time here?
Oh, yeah, it's all good, eh? Yeah, it's pretty cool having Shea-Fu and that over here. So, yeah, that makes it, even better, yeah.
Barely into the first half of the race, one paddler was left out of contention due to a broken paddle, leaving the others to battle out the conditions. Young paddler Clifford Marsh had the clear lead, rocketing past his competition, only to go past the turnaround point, giving BJ Ricks a chance to take the lead. The Fuhineu sisters had their own race going on right from the start, and we spoke to Micah, who had to make do with second place this time round.
Tired. I'm happy though with the result, even though I lost to my little sister. It was good. The relay was really good. I was proud of BJ, Clifford, Bella, they all did really well. So all up, it was a good day.
So what was the competition like out on the water, seeing as you were put in the same category as the boys?
It was quite challenging actually. Provided motivation, got to beat the boys. I was catching up to some of them, but then, end of the day, my arms gave in, tired, don't have as much strength and speed as the boys, but, gonna get there one day.
In the open men's category, BJ Ricks in first place, followed by Clifford Marsh in second and Puyo Keseni in third. And in the ladies category, that was won by Isabella Fuhineu. In the open team relay, there were two teams that took up the challenge, the first of its kind on the island, and the winning team combination went to BJ Ricks and Micah Fuhineu. The hope is that with each year, participation and competitions will increase. And the festival hub at the commercial centre was buzzing with excitement as Niueans expressed pride in telling our stories. Over 20 brave souls took centre stage to test their oratory skills in the short story and poetry recitals organised by the Nukutula Writers Group. Writers young and old presented personal pieces, some reflections reminiscent of Niue of yesteryear, while others wrote of more current, life-changing experiences, such as the recent Christchurch earthquake.
One night in September, I woke on an empty stomach. Suddenly, the house began to really shake. I ran into the hall and screamed. Mummy said, "Don't be afraid, Hina. Mummy is here."
Cabin fever setting in. Aftershock, aftershock. The rumble before the storm. The stink of eastern suburbs threatens shower city. Streets without portaloos. Dig holes, island styles. Hand sanitizer is my precious. Alcoholism on the rise. 1 glass, 2 glass, 3 glass, 4. Western suburbia's hospitality profits. Red Cross restoring family links. Deaf boxes line up behind white crosses. Rest in peace, Norman Lee.
Ana, your majestic beauty was next to none. where lovers would roam through the twilight hours. Standing upon one could see for miles the endless ocean of Tangaloa. One's mood would change dramatically from calm sea to crashing waves to where he held her close to lovingly whisper her name.
Despite being given a maximum of 5 minutes, some stories were just too good to be confined to time, and the willingness of budding writers to share their work meant that the program went on longer than expected. But during an intermission, the crowd was given a bonus for their patience with the presentation of Marie Webster's newest piece of work, a monologue titled I Am Niue, performed by Michael Koloi. A moving piece, a challenge, and a call to Niueans to return home, quoting, "Don't come home because you are not ready to come home because you are ready to stay home."
When you sleep in a faraway country, do you think of the freedom you gave up for your fast life? When you have searched the four corners of the world, what do you expect to find? What is it that holds you there but won't hold you to me? When the streets are no longer paved with gold, do you then remember the dusty roads of Niue? Find the sea and shade your eyes from the sun. And when you look across the water, think of me, Niue.
A story all too familiar of a land longing for the return of its people, sometimes labelled as a dying race, to return to the motherland, and a friendly reminder to visiting Niueans here for the festival to ponder on. And the grand finale for the Niue Arts and Cultural Festival for 2011 brought the house down as Niue's famous faces entertained the crowd in a performance fit for the international stage at the Commercial Centre in Alofi. Shei Fu, Tinglo Ness, Tyree and Malcolm Lakatani, Disciple, Ocean Angelics and more showed why they are up there with the best in the international music stage, performing old favourites, personal success, and of course a couple of crowd-pleasing Niuean numbers. The 3-hour singing marathon saw many concert revelers on their feet with the music, with local teams better equipped with the dancing. One of the crowd-pleasing performances by Shei Fu is the announcement that during the day he married his fiancée in his home Niue.
We went out to Mutao, and we had a ceremony, and me and my former partner got married.
The impromptu announcement certainly excited many, especially as it is the first time ever Shei Fu and his family visited the island. The concert ended with the crowd calling for more, and I wish that the famous Sons of Niue return for the next festival in 2013. Today marks International Nurses Day, celebrated around the world on the 12th of May since 1965. International Nurses Day is commemorated each year by the International Council of Nurses on the birthday of one of the first pioneers for nursing, Florence Nightingale. Each year the Council produces and distributes International Nurse Day kits that contain educational and public information materials for nurses to use everywhere. Niue's nurses join in the celebration with their own program, How Today, to highlight the importance of nurses in the health system and the care given to patients. This was reflected in today's program, bringing health workers together with songs, poems and quizzes to raise awareness.
There is so tonight, the value you bring, the lives that are needing, a touch of true spring, a spring follows winter, a fair calls new life. So you to your patients, relieving their strife, the fear and anguish that so many feel. When rushed to ER, their lives in real. For so many reasons, your presence is known. From ward to ward, house to house, your love is shown. And this is the reason God called you to be an angel in crisis, intervening with speed.
This year's theme, focuses on closing the gap and increasing access and equity. According to a nurse representative, this day recognizes the valuable contribution nurses offer patients and the health system. It is also a way that they try to promote nursing as a career pathway that is both gratifying and fulfilling. The hope is that future generations will see that there is more to nursing than meets the eye. US High Court proceedings has been confirmed for the week starting on the 23rd to the 26th of May. With approximately 56 land cases to submit before Judge Wilson Isaac, criminal and civil, the one-week court sitting is bound to see more visitors to the island. Among some of the matters presented to Judge Isaac, the relook at the demolition order for hurricane houses. We will bring you more on this story in our future news bulletin. Junior students in Niue High School got to take their oratory prowess to the center stage in the annual Niue High School English speech competitions for Year 7 through to Year 9. It was an opportunity for students to select topics close to their hearts and in less than 5 minutes give their best speech in what was for many their second language. It was interesting to hear the thoughts of young minds with a variety of presentation styles and topics reflecting on education, the end of the world, water conservation, village and national history, the weather, culture, and more. Judges had the difficult task of selecting those who captivated their attention, but the placings in the end in Year 7 saw Shailene Tauvaka in first, second went to Timora Tongatule, and third to Gemma Baka. For Year 8, first placing Janice Kaifoto, second Davide Pavihi, and third Vitolia Pulhetoa. For Year 9, Wanu Hipa took first place, second placing to Isabella Fuhiniu, and third Ashley Pihingia. For those who did not quite make the cut this time around, this is a good building block for the future, as speech delivery is a skill that will come in handy, and there is always next year. Those are our news stories that we have for you this evening. Don't forget to check out the Makefu Annual Show Day this coming Saturday.